Hey guys, welcome back to Mallard 5 Mama. I took my glasses off because there's always a glare on my eyes and it drives me nuts, but now I'm having trouble seeing myself. And just like the last video, I'm filming with my phone again because I feel like I'm more comfortable with my phone for some reason, and I'm trying to look at myself, but right now I'm looking at myself, but my eyes are over here. And when I look this way, and I don't see myself at all because I'm looking at the camera, that's when I'm looking at you. I don't know. This drives me nuts. So this week, we are going to go into the kitchen, and I filmed for you our 4 favorite recipes. These are all Are you done? Nope. Sorry, that was... Now he's back at it. That was the cat. Anyway, so I filmed our 4 favorite recipes. They're all really easy. They're kid approved for the most part when they decide to eat them. I'll be sure to either link the recipes or type them out because some of them I don't think are online. Hi, baby. Down in the description box. So let's get to it. Alright, heat 1 whole block of cream cheese on medium until it gets all soft, like so. And then I did this the day before. This is 3 chicken breasts that I baked and shredded in my KitchenAid mixer. So I'm going to add that to the cream cheese. To that, I added a cup of the salsa. You can use whatever you like. We like this one because it's not spicy. I don't like spicy stuff, and neither do the kids. So, in here we have the cream cheese, the shredded chicken, and the cup of salsa. And we are going to add some Fiesta blend cheese next. So I added the cheese and I got it all stirred up. Oh, here's one. I'll just eat that. I added the cheese and getting it all mixed up, and then you're going to turn off the stovetop and remove this from the heat and start putting it in your tortillas and rolling them up. Alright, just like that much. I'm not sure how much that is, just a couple spoonfuls. And then just roll it over just like that, and it's good to go into your 13x9. Okay, so these are all rolled up and ready to go. Now in the regular recipe, you are supposed to drizzle some more salsa on top of these, but CJ and Kaylee get mouth ulcers fairly easily, so I just get a handful of cheese and sprinkle that on top instead. Alright, now they're all ready to go into the oven at 350 for 15 minutes, just enough to melt the cheese and heat everything all through. Alright, 15 minutes later. And they are ready to eat. I'm telling you, these things are one of my favorites. I love them. Alright, so today we are going to make ham and cheese sliders. So for this, you need a pan. You can use a 13x9. I always use a 9x11. I just like it better for this recipe. It keeps the sandwiches closer together. A pack of King's Hawaiian sweet rolls, some ham, and some Swiss cheese. Worcestershire sauce, however you say that. You need some of that, some Dijon mustard, some minced onion in the spice aisle, and 6 tablespoons of butter. Alright, now to start, you want to take your Hawaiian rolls and cut them in half, leave the tops here, and put the bottoms in your pan. Alright, so now we have all the bottoms in the pan, all the tops are here waiting till we are done, and we are going to take our ham and put it on our bottoms. Alright, I've got all of the ham on the bottoms of the rolls. I always do 1 piece of ham per roll, and I take it out of the package, I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half again. That way each sandwich has its own perfect little slice of ham on there. Now just layer on your Swiss like so. It usually fits perfect. Just 6 pieces all over, it'll melt in the thing, and then you'll just cut it with a pizza roller. But before we get to that, we have to put the tops of our rolls back on. And that's why I like to use the 9x11. The sandwiches are so close together in there that you can't really go wrong whenever you put the rolls back on. It's a little bit better, in my opinion, than using a 13x9, just because in a 13x9 they have a little bit more space in between them. So you kind of have to make sure that you get the rolls exactly where they're supposed to be, or your sandwiches are going to be a little wonky. Okay, that looks good. So that is what they look like right now. Now we have to go over to the stove and make the topping. So you melt your butter, your 6 tablespoons of butter, and then you need 1 teaspoon each of the Dijon mustard, the Worcestershire sauce, and the minced onion. Just 1 teaspoon of each of those into the mixed butter and stir it all up. Alright, we've got our buttery mixture here, and here are our sandwiches. So you're just going to take in spoonfuls. This is how I've always done it. And just drizzle it over. I use the whole entire thing on all of this. Alright, so we've got our sandwiches all covered with the buttery, oniony mixture. It doesn't look very appealing, I know, but just trust me on this, they are so good. So once you're done with that, cover them with foil and put them in the fridge. Okay, so our oven is preheated to 350. We're going to put our sandwiches in there. They've been sitting in the fridge for, I don't know, 5 hours or so. And that's best. Don't make them right after you put the stuff on. Put the stuff on, put the foil on, and put them in the fridge for like at least 3 hours. Overnight is best, but I started these this morning, so they'll be fine. Put them in the oven, 350 for 25 minutes, and then take the foil off and then bake them for 5 more minutes. Just took the foil off of our sandwiches, and since we have 5 minutes left, I'm going to heat up some of the Steam Fresh Super Sweet Corn. It is so good, and it just cooks for 5 minutes in the microwave, and then it's all ready to go. It doesn't need anything. It is so good. So I'm going to pop that in the microwave and show you everything when it's all done. Alright, corn is done, sandwiches are finished, and Caitlin is hungry. There you go. Okay, so today we're going to be making chicken and noodles in the crock pot. You're going to need 4 large chicken breasts. I have them, they were thawing out in the fridge. Could you be quiet? A stick of butter, 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, 1 32-ounce box of chicken broth, and a bag of frozen Reams egg noodles, the 24-ounce bag. You don't need these until later though, so keep them frozen until it's time to use them. Okay, so I have my chicken breasts in the crock pot. I've sprayed it with Pam first, and then after I put them in there, I salt and peppered them, and now you're going to put both cans of the cream of chicken soup on top. So we've got our cream of chicken soup on top of our chicken breasts, and now you're going to cut up your butter into little squares and just place them all around. And then take your chicken broth and pour it all on top, the whole 32-ounce container. Alright, now that is all done. You put on your lid and you cook it on low for 4 hours. And in 4 hours, we will take the chicken out, shred it, and put in our noodles. Okay, so it's been about 4.5 hours. I took the chicken out and put it in my KitchenAid mixer and got it all shredded up. So I'm just going to pour it in. Pour in the whole 24-ounce bag of noodles and then just stir it up, get them all coated. And then once you do that, put the lid back on. That's good. We're going to put the lid back on and cook for 2 more hours, and then it will be all ready. Okay, so for the last recipe of the week, we are going to be... Would you stop? We are going to be making our very favorite recipe, and it is taco casserole. This is so good. So what you're going to need is 2 pounds of ground beef, a thing of salsa. This is how much? A pound and 8 ounces of salsa. You won't need that much, but just your favorite salsa. Doesn't have to be this kind. 2 packets of taco seasoning, 2 boxes of Velveeta shells and cheese, and any, okay, there it's focusing. Any tortilla chip will do. I just get these because they're cheap and they're really good. Oh, and you also need Fiesta blend cheese. I don't have any more. I used it all on the, what was that recipe, quesadillas or whatever that we made earlier in the week. So we're going to use mozzarella. It'll taste fine, but when you make it, be sure to have the taco cheese. Okay, to get things started, I have my pot of water. That's going to be coming to a boil for the noodles, the mac and cheese part, and then I have my ground beef in here to brown. I have this neat little spinny tool. I think this was from Pampered Chef, but it helps to break everything up and just toss it around. I love this thing. I always use that whenever I make any kind of a ground beef meal. Okay, so I have my mac and cheese cooked as per the directions on the box. My taco meat cooked as per the directions on the packages, and my 13x9 sprayed with Pam. I don't know why this is not focusing. Okay, there we go. Now you're going to start layering the casserole. You're going to start with a layer of the mac and cheese, half of the mac and cheese, then half of the meat. And then I will get back on here and show you what to do next. Alright, there's about half of the mac and cheese. Now I'm going to put half of the taco meat on top. Alright, that's about half of the meat. Now you're going to take your cheese and just sprinkle your cheese on top. Okay, so that was about 2 handfuls of cheese. So not a whole lot. Now you're going to take your salsa. Okay, hang on, I can't do this one-handed. Okay, you're going to take your salsa and a spoon, or whatever. If you find another way to do it that's easier, do it that way. But you're just going to take your salsa and just kind of spoon it all around, all on top. Not a hugely thick layer, just a little bit. I'll try to find the recipe and put it down below. That way you have an exact amount. Okay, so I have the salsa on. As you can see, it's a thin layer. You can still see the cheese and the meat underneath of it. And this is about how much I used. So I don't know if that's a half a cup, 3/4, what. I'm not sure. But it's just a thin layer. Now you're going to go back and you're going to do all of your layers all over again. So another layer of mac and cheese, another layer of meat, another layer of cheese, and another layer of salsa. Okay, so we have the other layers all assembled and it is ready to go in the oven. Put on some foil first so that if there's any pieces of macaroni sticking out, they won't get all hard and yucky. Put foil on this and put it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. Everything is cooked. You're just going to melt the cheese and get it all together. Alright, it just came out of the oven. This is CJ's piece. I'm getting it ready to give him. So here's the best part. you take your bag of chips and you take a few, or as many as you want, and crumble them up on top. And it just, oh, the crunchy, it just takes it to a whole nother level. It's so good. Alright, so now it's ready to be eaten. And I lied when I made the chicken noodle stuff. If you make any of the recipes, make this. So, so good. That was this week's video. Like I said, I will have all of the recipes either linked or typed out for you down below in the description box. Let me know if you try any of them, what you think, if you make any changes. Let me know. I hope that you like them. Anyway, here in a little bit, I'm going to start filming another video for this next week. I'm going to do our meal plan. I always plan for 2 weeks at a time, and I grocery shop for 2 weeks at a time, and I try very hard to keep the, what I spend, the budget, to around $200 for 2 weeks for us five. So I'm going to film that and show you kind of how I do that. So be on the lookout for that video. And if you are new and you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. And we will see you next time. Bye!